What is going on, everybody? Bo Million here, back at you with another video. Now, as you can see in the title, I'm talking today about Beadmaker and why I think it is the best sealant out there on the market. Beadmaker is a synthetic spray sealant that you apply to the vehicle, and there are hardening agents inside the product that allow it to bond to the actual surface, to the panel, to whatever you're applying it to, and then it creates a protective layer, a protective barrier, which protects the paint and enhances shine, gloss, and so many other things. But I want to talk to you and show you guys today the process in which I use Beadmaker. Now, I've done a couple videos as far as using it as a spray-on, rinse-off product. I've talked about using it as a wheel protectant, as kind of like a coating for your wheels on maintenance surfaces, or I'm sorry, maintenance washes and whatnot. But today I'm going to show you how to use it actually as a sealant in itself. If you're going to lay down a foundational layer of the product, if you're going to put a base layer in which you would coat on top of, or put other layers on top of, whether you want to use a spray wax on top of it, if you want to just use a Beadmaker on top of it as a layer, you can do that. And so today we're working on my car. You've seen this one before. Let me take you in. We're working today on my 2015 Toyota Corolla. No, I did not use that on the panel. I just had that there to weigh down the towels. But if you guys haven't noticed, I actually got myself a tripod for the camera, so that's pretty cool. But I'm going to show you today how I use it on surfaces if I wanted to do a foundational layer. Now, right here I just have a standard SM Arnold microfiber towel, 16 by 24, 80-20 blend, nothing special. Gets the job done. It's nice and soft. It's high quality. It's just not as soft as 70-30 blends. Now, and right here I have the PNS Beadmaker towel. This is a 70-30 composite. I believe it's like 500 GSM or something like that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's actually a relabeled what company is it? Rag Company edgeless microfiber. I'm not sure. I don't know too much about Rag Company, but I do believe it's a Rag Company towel. Eagle edgeless, I think it's called. The way that the companies, a Rag Company or PNS, will tell you to use it is they'll tell you to douse the panel with product, douse this towel with product, and then follow up with a second towel, a thinner microfiber towel to buff off the extra. I actually like to do it the exact opposite. I like to douse the panel. I like to apply a good amount of product onto the panel, and I like to go at it with this towel, with my smaller towel, to spread out the product and buff off the extra, buff off the residue with this product. So we're already a couple minutes in. I don't want to go too much longer. Let's go ahead and let's get to work. Let me show you exactly how I do it. We'll do half the panel and you'll kind of see the results. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put product on the actual towel. I live in Fort Lauderdale, so the humidity levels are extremely high over here, so you have to do a little bit different. If you are in high humid areas or high heat, put a good amount of product on the towel first. That way you can go ahead and get even dispersion. Thankfully, I'm working in the shade here, so it kind of works for me. Now, I'm going to douse half the panel in product. As you can see, I'm using quite a bit of product there. Now, the cool thing about a product like this is you can see it's hydrophobic, so you can see it actually kind of starting to bead up, and you can see separation beginning to happen. That's a good thing. That means that it's actually bonding to the surface. So I'm going to take my thin microfiber towel. I'm going to just evenly spread it across the panel. So I have a good, even, thin coverage. I can feel it's all over the panel. It's still wet. That's good. I'm going to take my Beadmaker towel, edgeless towel, Eagle edgeless, whatever it is. I'm going to buff off the residue. Now, one thing I'll say about this product, it's best to use it and definitely in the shade. You want to try to use it out of sunlight. If you're stuck in the sunlight, it's still a good product to use. You'll just do more spraying on the towel than actually on the surface itself. So now my towel feels very slick. It's super slippery as I'm rubbing it across the panel, and that is very, very smooth. That is very smooth in comparison to this side over here. So You can't hear it because it's a clayed surface. I clayed the surface, so you really can't hear it. You can't hear the panel gripping my fingers. But if you were to feel it, you would be like, wow, that is extremely slick. So one thing I'll say about Beadmaker, now it does use a lot of product. You are going to use a lot of product when putting it across the panel like this. That's okay, because when you do it this way and you've properly prepped it, you're going to expect about 1 to 3 months of protection, depending on your climates, depending on your maintenance. If you are not maintaining the vehicle at all, and you're just putting a good even layer, a good even amount of product. Here, let me go ahead and put the camera towards me. That way you can see me. Hey, there I am. If you're going to go ahead and you're going to apply it this way, and you're going to douse the panel and put a good amount of product on there, you're not going to, and you're not going to maintain it. You're going to expect about a month worth of protection, maybe a little bit more, but somewhere around a month of protection. If you're maintaining it, you're washing the vehicle frequently, and anytime you wash it, you put some type of small coats, small layer on top of it, maybe a couple sprays of Beadmaker per panel, kind of using it like a spray wax. You're going to expect up to about 3 months protection. So it is a great product for maintenance clients. If you're going to service a client once every 6 months, I don't recommend using it. Once every 3 months, I do not recommend using it unless they're going to maintain the vehicle themselves. That being said, you can actually use it as a clay loop. So a lot of people have talked about wash, clay, wax, and you're doing the clay and wax part all at the same time. You can use it as that, and you can expect about 45 days worth of protection, a month to 45 days. Of course, and it goes back into the concept or the question, are you maintaining the vehicle? The same concepts apply, but it's a very, very easy to use product. And the one thing I'll say about this product that I do not like, but it's all in the chemistry of it, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there are hardening agents inside the product. The hardening agents, basically as time goes on, it bonds to the surface of the panel, bonds to the clear coat, bonds to the paint, whatever you got it on. And they say after an 8-hour cure time, you're going to have the maximum effect. That is true. I've actually tested that, and that is the case. My problem is in South Florida, that is not the reality of things, and it rains most days down here, if not a downpour, at least a drizzle, and that can harm the integrity of the product. But what I have noticed is if I give it about a 45-minute to an hour cure time, I'm going to expect good results. I'm going to expect good, appropriate results, and it's going to last quite a while. And so a product like this, I do recommend it for detailers. I recommend it depending on your environment. If you're working inside, man, I say use it all day, every day. If you're working outside, use caution. Approach the vehicle with caution. Approach the vehicle with some thinking. You know, use your noggin. Do some thinking. Have a process in which you approach the vehicle with, and determine and discern whether it's a product that is good for you on that case or not. It may not work on every case outside. I've noticed on Lexuses and softer paints, it doesn't work the best on harder paints. It is a firm layer of protection on it. That's just my experience. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my experience. Beadmaker is a tremendous product to use. I recommend it for any detailer, especially depending on your scenarios if you're working inside. That being said, I'm gonna do future videos in the future about, you know, using it as a clay bar lubricant. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. So Beadmaker, in essence, is a non-silicone product. It's body shop safe. That's really cool. There are no silicones inside of it. So what does that mean? What's the purpose of saying all this? Silicones are what kind of adds some lubricity and some slickness when you're actually rubbing it across the paint. Not the finished product, but in the actual ease of application. So a product like Beadmaker may streak on you, and it may be a little bit harder to apply than, say, Meguiar Synthetic Express Spray Wax. It might be a little bit more tricky and finicky depending on your scenario, depending on your situation, your surroundings. So with that being said, you're not going to have a whole lot of issues while applying the product, but there are going to be some concerns. You do have to use some precautions and some judgment. The silicone means it's less airborne, so it's good, so it's going to be less likely to spray all across the panel, all across the vehicle. But that does also mean that there is less lubrication when using the product. So use caution in your towels. Make sure you're using clean towels. It's not a product for just a quick little car wash, get in and get out. Use precaution, take your time, use it wisely. But if used correctly with with the right amount of practice and you use it in the right way, you can definitely expect some tremendous results, and you will really like what you're getting. So once again, guys, my name is Bo Million from Million Reflections Luxury Automotive Detailing, talking about Beadmaker today. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy New Year. It's New Year's Eve today, so Happy New Year. Hope you guys have a wonderful year, a prosperous New Year. Be blessed this year. Put all you can into the year, because what you reap, what you sow, you shall reap. And so they who sow into this, what do I like to say? They who sow into this, who give into the sowing, who sow into the kingdom shall reap of the harvest. That's what I like to say, especially in church lingo. But that being said, guys, have a wonderful day. Happy New Year, and take care.